Your Amazon business can be way more profitable than the average Amazon seller with very little extra work. And I'm going to back up that claim because in this video, we're going to cover 8 profit boosting hacks that require very little extra work as you're going out and running your Amazon business. There's no reason not to implement these so your margins can be higher. Because at the end of the day, who doesn't love more profit in their pocket? So I'm just going to jump into it here. I want to respect your time and let's jump into it, right? So I want to start by just looking at an example of a product that we can sell on Amazon. We're going to start with some of the more basic profit boosting hacks, and we're going to get more and more advanced as we go throughout the video here. So let me just go ahead and start with a random example product here. You can see this is a shirt from the Gap website here. You can buy these on sale today for $12.49, and then you can sell this exact same shirt on Amazon for $31, which leaves you with a $7 profit, and that's all calculated on SellerAmp, which is including my sales tax, shipping costs, all that good stuff. So that is actual true profit on this item. And with this example, I want to talk about 2 things, right? So number one, how can we actually boost the profit margins on this? And so with this example in mind, I want to show you the lowest hanging fruit, the easiest way to make extra money on the products that you're already buying to sell on Amazon, and that is by using margin boosters. And so with this example in mind, I want to start with the easiest ways to boost your margins. You've already done the work of sourcing profitable items. In fact, I'll show you how I found this profitable product here in just a second. But since we've already done the work of finding profitable items, we might as well make sure that it's as profitable as possible, right? So you can see this is just the price that it is right now on the website. It's $12.49. Like I said, sales taxes included on the back end of SellerAmp there for me. But we might as well make this even better. So the way we can do that, the first option is by buying discounted gift cards. So when I check out on the Gap website, instead of using a credit card, I can use discounted gift cards, which basically, let me search like the Gap website right here. So I can see I can buy Gap branded gift cards for a maximum of 16% off today. I like to buy a lot from GCX. I'm just going to show you that as an example. Maybe you can check those out as well. But you can see as I'm going into this marketplace here, I can see all these different gift cards that are being sold. Here, for example, this one's 14% off. I can buy $100 for 86 bucks. So now instead of paying $12.49, I can immediately go ahead and assume that I'm going to save 14% on every single item, right? Just because instead of using a credit card, I can go spend those discounted gift cards. And so now it's going to be a 14% discount, which really means I'm paying a little under $11 for this item, which leaves me with now close to $9 in profit, right? So now we're talking even better. We're making even more money here, but we don't even need to stop there. The second, probably the easiest profit boosting metric that we're going to talk about here today is cashback. There's no reason not to go in here and check a website like Cashback Monitor. That's going to show me all of the different websites that offer cashback on this website. And today I can see top cashback is the highest cashback that I'm going to be able to get. See on the website here, you'd have to log in here, but you just click like activate. It'll load for a second. You go check out and bang, you're getting 4% of that money back. Now I don't like to include cashback in my margin. It's not always going to pay out 100% of the time. So I just treat it as bonus money, extra money you might as well make while you're going out there and buying lots of good profitable items. So in this case, we just treat that 4% as a little bit of extra bonus money. And this doesn't need to stop there, right? So let's take a look at another example. I found this for a recent video. Maybe you guys saw this one, but I bought this for $10 from the 32 Degrees website, which by the way, 32 Degrees is an auto ungated brand. So for a lot of you guys who are brand new Amazon sellers, you're looking for what to sell. One of the easiest ways to go out there and start finding products that you can sell no matter where you're at on Amazon. See, this is selling for $10 and on Amazon it is $39. So obviously plenty of profit to go around there, but we can even take that a step further by going ahead and opening up the other storefronts on SellerAmp right here. And now, since we know that they're selling 32 Degrees, which is an auto ungated brand, the other brands that the sellers sell on these listings like 32 Degrees, Stafford, J. Crew, all those brands that tend to be auto ungated for new Amazon sellers, they're going to sell a bunch of other brands that are either auto ungated or typically going to be pretty easy to ungate. So like I know Yankee Candle, I've seen a lot of beginners have success ungating. Carter's, Lipton, Smart Wool, all those are fairly beginner friendly brands that I've seen lots of new sellers hop on lately. And I actually found this original item just by reverse sourcing. So looking through the storefronts of sellers who are already successfully buying items from this Gap sale, right? So that's not necessarily like a low effort profit booster there. That's just how I was able to find that item. So let's get into even more fun stuff here. Hopefully that makes sense. After you watch this video, if you want to see me find lots more winning products, you can go check out any of the full sourcing videos I've got here on the channel. So the next profit boosting metric, and this is something that you'll want to take advantage of, is just go ahead and use Boxem to create your FBA shipments. The reason for that is you can use these 2D barcodes down here. And basically what those 2D barcodes do is they embed an extra barcode label on the bottom of your shipping labels, just like that. And when this label gets to Amazon on that FBA box, typically if you don't use Boxem or you use Amazon Seller Central, you're not going to have that 2D barcode. And when it gets there, it makes it a little bit harder for them to check in. And for my business, using Boxem 2D barcodes has allowed me to make sales a couple days faster on average. And if you're faster to listings, it means you beat competition, you make money faster, you're turning capital over faster. And so something that takes literally zero extra work, there's no reason not to take advantage of that right there, right? You can see here's what it'll print out. Go ahead and print out those FBA box labels, slap those on the box, you'll be good to go. And you'll be making money a little bit faster faster on average as well. Another really cool profit booster that was also added to Boxum recently you can check out is step 3 when you're actually creating the FBA shipment, which if you want to see the full shipment guide on the channel, you can check out, just search a Boxum full shipment guide as well after you watch this video. But now on step 3, we're able to see several different options. So we can see the total placement fees we're paying, the total transportation fees, and the total overall shipping cost. So I've been using this a lot lately. And basically, instead of just seeing one option like we were given before, Boxum added this cool feature here where now we can see multiple different ways to ship our items to Amazon. So we can see the overall cheapest method of shipping to Amazon. Sometimes it's going to be cheaper to ship to a further away fulfillment center and pay less in placement fees, or vice versa. And you can easily compare all that right there as well. So no reason not to save money on shipping. Another one of those advantages of using Boxum there. And so if you guys want to try all these profit boosting features of Boxum, make sure you check out a 2-week free trial down below. But let's say you want to go ahead and make even faster, more quick money. One of the major hacks as far as making money faster in your Amazon business, as well as using 2D barcodes, is buying items that are FBM buy box friendly. So on any item that you want to sell on Amazon, basically the buy box is going to be either won by an FBA seller or an FBM seller. In this case, I can see it ships from Amazon, sold by this random third-party seller. Maybe even one of you guys watching the video is making the sales on this listing right here. And the reason why thinking about FBM is so valuable is as an FBM seller, you're just going to receive that item. You can list it the same day on Boxum, and then you can ship that item that same day as well. Or let's say you're going out to the store and sourcing products. You can list that item FBM in store, and you'll make the sale potentially while you're still in the store. It's still in the cart, you haven't bought it yet. So you can very quickly gauge how many items are actually going to sell. And based on how fast you see those products are actually selling, that you can send out a big FBA shipment, wait a week or two for everything to check in. And before you do that, all you need to really do is check the buy box statistics on SellerAmp. So you can see right here, I can see who has recently won the sales on this listing. So Rich Goods, JR Distributors, Suro Link right here. See, these are the 3 people who have won sales on this listing the most recently. And I can see right here, this was an FBM seller that was actually making sales, right? So 23 hours ago, another FBM seller was making sales. 2 days ago, an FBM seller made a sale. There's another one right there. So this seems like a very FBM seller friendly listing. Some listings aren't going to be as FBM seller friendly. So we can check and see. So like this, for example, right? Doesn't seem like an FBM seller has won too many sales here. It seems like it's maybe been 9 weeks since an FBM seller has won some sales. Now it's been out of stock a little bit, buy box suppressed a little bit. So it's a little bit of a more weird example, but it doesn't seem to be quite as friendly to FBM sales as this listing does. Lots of those FBM sellers going through there. So if you want to get that quick return on your money, make those sales as fast as possible, check for FBM buy box rotation, get it listed, try to make those sales as fast as possible. And that helps you make way smarter decisions and just grow your money faster. You're able to beat competition to the listing even faster as well. So if you're worried about an item being oversaturated, lots of people found it, that kind of thing, the FBM sellers tend to make a lot of money on the front end, even if a lot of people hop on and the price drops, that kind of thing. The next profit boosting hack is something that a lot of arbitrage, wholesale, kind of just resellers in general aren't really thinking about too often. And that's using PPC ads, so pay-per-click ads. And you typically only hear people talk about PPC ads when it comes to doing like private label, launching your own products, launching your own brand, all that kind of stuff. But it can still be extremely useful in an arbitrage or reseller business because all you really have to do is get signed up for an advertising account with Amazon. First of all, Amazon as a new seller, they also give you a little bit of ads credit. So you can go ahead and play around with this for literally free. There's no reason not to spend some free ad dollar that Amazon is giving you if you are a brand new seller. It's on advertising.amazon.com. It's a different platform. But what you want to do is you want to go in and bid a nickel or a dime on a whole bunch of keywords relating to the item that you're selling, especially if it's something that you have a lot of. Typically, we can't afford to go in and run a proper PPC ad campaign with reselling. The margins just aren't quite there. With private label, you consider that part of the overall cost is going to be having to pay for ads. With a reselling business, there doesn't tend to be enough margin left over for a full PPC campaign, but there's often a ton of really cheap keywords that kind of slip through the cracks. And it's not uncommon to be able to spend $1 on ads to generate 50 or 100 or even more in revenue just by bidding on those super cheap keywords that kind of slip through the cracks. So if you've never played around with the advertising platform before, give it a shot, spend 30 minutes, an hour just messing around with it, go bid like basically nothing on some broad match keywords, basically just trying to catch anything that slips through the cracks that's related to your items. Especially if you're having a hard time selling through a lot of something, it can be a really big help. So play around with PPC ads. It's just not something I ever thought about using for arbitrage for way too long, but it's definitely been beneficial. So the next profit boosting hack has to do with repricing. And a lot of people make some mistakes when it comes to repricing. And I just want to show you one quick hack that you can add. Basically, you should add this on every single rule that you have set up. I like using Be Cool for new sellers, that kind of thing. Whatever repricer you use will have something that is similar to this. Once you start making a couple $1,000 a month in sales, it's generally a good idea to have a tool that is repricing for you automatically. But the problem with a lot of repricers is your prices will gradually just get lower and lower over time. They might follow other repricers that are programmed to undercut the price by a penny or a dollar or that kind of thing, right? So you need to do everything you possibly can to increase the prices on your items, and setting a repricing rule that basically raises the price as often as possible is a great way to do that. So for example, on all of the rules that I have set up on my repricers, every day at 2 to 4 a.m. where there's not too many people shopping on Amazon, I raise the price of everything by 10%. That way, if anyone else's repricer is just following what everybody else is doing, they're going to follow up my price by 10%, and then bang, everybody on the listing is 10% more profitable. We can keep sharing sales the next day, and there's no reason not to implement this into your business, because like I said, you're not going to make too many sales between 2 to 4 a.m. or the middle of the night, that kind of thing. A lot of other repricers, you can go ahead and say, hey, every 6 hours, raise my price by 10% for 15 minutes, see if anybody follows me up, that kind of thing. That's also a really great idea. But do everything you possibly can to get prices increased on those listings, and setting up a rule where you're just increasing the prices by 10% or so. It's a really good way to do that, because especially if you're competing with some new sellers or anything like that on a lot of listings, some repricers kind of default, they tend to undercut other people's prices when a lot of times it might not even give you any extra sales to begin with. So if you're going to be competing with people that are undercutting you, but they're just following you around, maybe raise that price up, let them undercut you by a little bit, but at least it's 10% more expensive, and everybody has a little bit more runway the next day in terms of profit. Now, this next profit booster is something that a lot of you guys might even do as your entire business, but there's no reason not to make that next trip out to the grocery store or a personal shopping trip a profit trip as well. What I mean by that is you can whip out the SellerAmp app, basically any store. And I actually found this item at my local Ross the other day. It was selling on the shelf for $12, and then on Amazon, the price is $40 right now. And you can see that actually leaves us with a $15 profit on all of these. So especially if you're going to Walmart or Target, that kind of thing, you see those clearance stickers on the shelf. Scanning products on the shelf is definitely a little bit more time investment than something like using Boxem to create those shipments, kind of a super easy, quick way to save some money in your business. But you might as well go out and make those grocery shopping trips into a profit trip as well. And especially if you're brand new to the Amazon selling game, it's probably really overwhelming talking about all this kind of stuff, trying to get used to sourcing it all online. If you're like me, just getting that hands-on experience makes it a little bit easier, kind of feeling the product in your hand, scanning it physically, seeing if it's profitable, looking at it, seeing if it looks like something that might sell well on Amazon. That can just be a really good way to get more serious about Amazon. And like I said, pay for those groceries while you're already out at the store anyway. So I hope all of this has been super helpful for you so far. And if you guys want to see the full live game plan, everything from getting ungated to sell brands, full product sourcing strategy, and some stuff that we don't typically share for free on YouTube, go ahead and check out the link down below. We're going to host a free live masterclass. Even if it's past this date, we host these every couple weeks. So make sure you go ahead and get registered. Those are always fun. You can come chat directly with us, ask any questions, and we'll show you some awesome sourcing methods that we typically only share on the free live classes here. Also, if you have any questions about stuff we talked about today, feel free to drop those down below in the comment section. Always super happy to answer those for you guys. And if you guys did get value from this and you want to help me out for completely free, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Help me hit my goal of hitting 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. But I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will see you next time.